Alright, so gonna go live here in a few, tell you where I'm working, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, uh, you know, that type of thing. Basically, I'm trying to set up, or get ready to set up at least the nuclear power. I'm not fully sure how I want to go about part of it, and texting me, so you'll probably keep hearing that go off, because I can't exactly just ignore my wife texting me, because it could actually be important. Or it could be just, hey, what do you want to have for dinner tonight? So, let me hear some of that. Go ahead and just kick it over. Get over to the game. There we go. So, down here, I'm putting in a floor. If you know where I'm at in the game, I am bum, 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 over this giant vacant hole that there is just nothing in. And just working on setting that up, setting a floor in essentially in the vacant hole. I plan on irradiating this entire area. I don't know that I'm going to go down any further. I mean, I could. I don't know how far down you can go before it technically kills you, though. But, yeah. My plan is to put a floor in, basically, so I don't ever fall to my bottomless death. Up there is going to be the main floor. Down here will be storage. And... oh, I'm getting too close to That's interesting. Now it's telling me I was getting too close to radiation. I am storing a bunch of radioactive material in that building over there. That is all coming from a uranium mine in the underground. I didn't have a problem with it until more recently. Now, I don't know if it's because there's a quantity. It gets, like, you stack more and more and more, and it now has more radioactivity. Because even since I have started up the game today, for streaming, it's increased the radius. So, yeah. But the plan is to set up a bunch of assemblers. Right now, I don't know if this is where I want them or not. Because essentially this is going to be producing the radioactive stuff. I had debating moving it closer to that structure, keeping all the radioactive stuff on one side, and then feeding it into the nuclear power plants. Which I wanted to set one of those up, because I've never built one. And I wanted to know what it looked like, and where all the input outputs were, and stuff like that. These are huge. I'm gonna have to build out my floor on this one. So this is a concrete plant here. I have it stacking a lot of it into basically, yeah, so it feeds it all into this, goes up, Speed goes back or down, around, comes back down, around, and then goes into this. I only did this for mass quantity storage. If I don't know how much I'm gonna need or how much is gonna be out here. I want to try to get this going so that way I never have to come out here again if I don't need to. Just because all the radioactivity, it could be a problem. Okay, hopefully go out. Well, one more. That way I can drop this reactor without squeezing too close to existing structures. You know, don't want to. So I can explore. I want to kind of get also an idea on how many squares it takes, because that will matter. So let's try to. I'm trying to line it up based on. Well, that steps outside of its footprint section. Wow, big. But I can get a rough idea on how many squares now to build one. So it has input and waste. Waste obviously is going to have to get handled. Waste will be shipped down below. Don't know how many of these I'm going to be able to fit. But, I mean, it'll be interesting, intriguing. I also need to figure out what I want to do for there's two parts that you need to make everything together. So let's see. When you're making uranium cells, that's just concrete and that. Well, you also need electromagnetic control rods. I could be wrong. What are they used in? I might have to look that up because I know there's two parts, but if I don't know where control rods go, yeah. Huh. I'm gonna look that up quick because it'd be good to know. Satisfactory. Let's see, number of power plant. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 generators per node. A single normal uranium node can support the following number of nuclear power plants operating peak capacity. So I have a miner level that is a Mark III that's in there. It's from this, it'll get 240 uranium mined per minute. Number of power plants I could do would be 10. I don't know that I need 10. And 10 would give us, wow, 26,650 megawatts. And then this thing even has like, oh, if I clock it to the Mark III, it times 200%. You do 21, or Mark III to the 250%, do 26, and then you start stacking up. Like, it even has the waste per minute, so that way you know how much waste you'll be producing. Let's see, electromagnetic control rods are used to make nuclear fuel rods. Okay, see here. So a nuclear fuel rod is uranium cells plus electromagnetic control rods plus crystal oscillators and so I'm going to need production of the other stuff. Let's see here. Do I have enough to make a structure out here? Not. This isn't where it's gonna stay. This is where I'm looking at the nuclear fuel rod. Okay, it looks like they probably have changed the recipe for this a little bit. From what the webpage said, or maybe I don't see that this is alternative. So takes the uranium fuel cells plus the control rods plus some steel beams. So, well, encased steel beam. Which I'll have to ship that stuff in. I'll probably have a train that runs just parts down, like all the, because I'm gonna have to bring in the case steel beams, and I might as well ship in the electromagnetic control rods. Produce that all in a safer area where I don't have to worry about getting all stuff. And then have this be where the fuel cells and then the final fuel rods put together. So I will probably build a floor over this one, and it will build a floor above this one, which will actually have the reactors on it. Hopefully it will be high enough, and I'll probably keep it towards the back anyway to put the variety of things. So let's see here. Really, the radiation's now over to this? Man. I no longer have a safe way into my own structure. I'm just irradiating the hell out of this area. I'm going to now expand this floor this way. I think I'm going to build in a second entrance into this facility. One, I'm away from the radiation. Because this is getting kind of easy. I should have plenty of concrete, though that's not really a huge issue. And it's also partially why I'm picking way out here. I'm nowhere near like anything that I've built before, so all I have to do is tie it into my electrical grid, and I should be good. Now, I probably am not going to put much on this floor at this area. I could bring the train in. I don't know that I'll bring it in on down here, because I'd have to go down but I might just bring the train in, because I'll have to deliver the goods. Let's see how far out. I don't know if I have enough stuff to put. Oh, already at a concrete. This is why I set the concrete plan up first. Go ahead and take this down, because I am not keeping it there. Take all. Okay, so there's a lot of preparation doing nuclear power. Which, I mean, reality, there's a lot of preparation nuclear power anyway. And then there's people that say nuclear, I don't know, and nuclear. I'm probably saying it wrong anyway. You can all point fingers and laugh. But, here. Because I went with too high there. That might get so putting a train station on this level would be. I would have to do something. There we go. Probably gonna take 3. Just knowing. Now trains can't descend that quickly. This would only merely be for me to get up and up. But it does give me a kind of area to let's but by doing that, I now have put What I want to do, plan the. No, I don't. I can't. Gotta put the station down. I wish. I'd rather have that be the side, because now I'm gonna have to feed it up and around or down and around. Or just around. Okay, so I know this is too close, but I am currently, I'm going to do this, destroy this. By doing that, let's see. How is that's pretty? I don't like it. No, no, no. What if I have an idea? So with my other train, I don't know if this is gonna drop it enough for what I was hoping for. Hmm. Not too bad. The only thing I could do would be lift up the train platform. I don't know. I could do that. I could raise up, and then when I'm running underneath, I could run underneath the all the stuff. Because I'm not a big fan of that big of a drop. So why don't I this? Will be my way in. And then the train. Oops. Now, don't need this. I will put this section. Because I was thinking this would be roughly the wall. Okay, apparently I did do that. Some of this. Okay. I want to stay consistent. I need to go out more. I'll do 2. So the rail line will be on this. And I can start the station. Recenter. So I want the center rail. This is just the connection coming into the building. I may redo that piece, but because I don't think I want the... This will help me gauge it. Trains coming in this way. I want at least one. Because eventually I'm going to replace this piece that I'm about to put in with a blank. And so we want freight platforms on the other two. Actually, it won't be a blank. Because I don't want this station here. I probably don't want a freight one there either. I don't want a blank. So that'll be the start. And I need to go... If you look at these, I have it roughly lined up square on the edge. It takes pretty much 2 full pieces. So I basically just have to go out. Now I need to assemble that. I'm putting one over this way more so I can run around the station without having to fall off down below. Now, this train will not be going into my main train hub. This will be coming from my production facility. I will have to, on the back end of it, I will probably have a actual train station connected up that's outputting all the stuff for the nuclear power. Because for nuclear power, need to get AI limiters and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so freight platforms. I need a total of 4 things. Because I need AI limiter. What can I... No. I'm going to have to... I didn't pick up the other. Hopefully I can... Oh, I did pick it up. I may need to stop what I'm for here. I don't know that I can. Okay, I did bring out my radiation suit, but build this. Ooh, it would not fit underneath that. So, I have to bring in steel beams and electromagnetic control rod. That's 2 things. And if I'm doing the control rods there, I don't need to bring... I think I only need 2 things. So this could be a small train. So I don't need... I'll probably make it so I could add on, but I probably won't. Now, because the way I'm going to set this up, I still will use 2 engines. Front engine and a back engine. It's just going to, I'm not going to do any reversing, because otherwise it would be just a kind of chaos. Well, maybe not chaos, but you know. It'll be easier if I didn't. I'm gonna grab my buggy while I still can, because it's getting close to radiated zone. I will probably clean that up and such. Okay. Good, good. I was going to go to organization, and I don't have enough iron plate. So all that area over there is radiated. I probably should not have started here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run over there and dismantle one thing. Oh god, I'd put it in my inventory, wouldn't it? Well, I'll show you what I'm doing on the other side then. Because I have now uranium in my inventory, and this is bad. There we go. So I have a bunch of storage units in here, and that's... Wow. My concrete plant is now in the radiation zone. I can still get to this, fortunately. But I can't. Wow. That's fascinating. Okay, so go back to the train station. We're unloading at both of these. Load and unload. Logistics. So I need to put conveyor poles down because I didn't. An iron plate. So I have to get some iron. What else could I dump? I don't need, well, need to eat nuts anyway. Okay. I was gonna leave the building over there neon green because, well, radiation. of course. Since I'm gonna go back, I might as well clean up. I can get rid of this stuff once I get back to main base. Hey, Kazanator and everyone that is coming in for that. Thanks for the raid. Party of 16. Welcome. Just playing some Satisfactory here. Setting up a train station, nuclear power here, power plant set up. I have all the uranium pulling out of a node underneath. Thanks. Thanks for the raid. But yeah, pulling uranium out, storing it over in the green structure over there. I already have a concrete facility set up here, getting ready for, you know, uranium cells. Now heading back to my main base to get some more parts. I probably will, last thing I will probably set up is the train heading all the way back and forth, because, well, you know, I want to get the uranium side, the irradiated stuff set up first, so that way I don't risk killing myself too many times. And I still want to clean this up some. I'm slowly disassembling stuff here and cleaning it up. Eventually I want to, it still will be my main production facility. It just, I need to organize it better. I want to get rid of some of these huge pole chains. Dump the wood, leaves and flowers. Grab some iron, that way I can build my ramp, flooring down. Probably grab some of the and as you can tell, I've had this set up for a little while now, because that's the old style. Getting stuff up to the next floor. Fill up on that. If I have to, I can stick it in the stick it in my inventory of my buggy when I'm out there. Hello, everybody. Heading back out to where I'm setting up my power plant, well, nuclear power plant. Uranium is already ran. I actually had to cut the line from it because with the storage, while stacking it up in the storage, it was increasing the zone that the radiation was acquiring, spreading. I had an entrance to the facility that I started out on the closer to the where the uranium was stored, and by now, if I go in and out of that side over there, the radiation level now is actually past those constructors, and all because I'm storing it in that green building on the other side. So this is going to be the train station to bring in the parts that do not require any, you know, uranium. because I'll build that back at my main facility and then ship it all here, so I don't have to worry so much about it. I'm using this pit. If you know the map, this is just a giant hole in the map. There it goes to the abyss. You can fall to your death and never get your crap back. And yeah, so I am taking advantage of putting a floor in. I may eventually get it all the way across here. I'm not too worried about it right now, because that would take a lot of time. But eventually, also, I'm going to use this floor to store all the wasted fuel rods and stuff. I'll have basically a mass storage facility down here, and try to keep it all the way in on that side in the corner. I don't know. I'll do what I can, but yeah. Okay, so I have a way back down to there. Go ahead and drop this so I can plan out start planning out and I'll put a temp floor here and here so I can put the pole up. I think there is where I normally go. Same on this one. And I can drop the floor. Go up to logistics. This. And I can do a double drop down. Here. And this one I want to go high. Actually, let's drop in a industrial storage. Try to line it up with the that's right. Looks darn close if it's not. Do that again here. Then I can hopefully may not even need I hit that conveyor pole. Spin that. Did I put it in? No, I didn't put it. That goes there. And then this one will go there. Feet. And because I don't like floating conveyor poles, just using that to line up that top part and that. All right, I can connect these up. Now here, let's connect up this first one so I can run through here. Right. I will be putting a higher floor above. Need to put some walls up to get set up for that. Bring the wall closer before I start going up too much. Go ahead and just go down. I'm trying to. This is just the train station. It's not actually going to be a huge part of the facility. It's just bringing in the parts. I need to. I'm putting in this. I'm going to put it on a floor above this that'll actually have the power plant set up. So I need to go high enough. I have a double stack here. And you can see my crazy bridge floating over there. That's to get to the quartz plant and bauxite, so I have aluminum coming in. I probably wouldn't mess with. I don't really need nuclear power, but you know. All right. I don't need it, but it's definitely going to be a fun challenge to not kill myself. I may use the station to actually, so I can get rid of conveyor pole or power poles out here. Because I do like that the train stations do let you transfer power. Okay. That is started. I probably could have gone one lower, but I'm going to have enough room in case I need to do more stuff. I don't know how this is going to play out on... There are some resource nodes up in this area. I may just favor this wall as being the irradiated side. I don't know how many power plants I'm going to be setting up out here. From what I was reading, or like someone's done the math already, and sounds like I could honestly do about 10 if I really wanted. So I don't know that I'm going to go for 10. I will at least probably have 4 reactors going. Okay, let's bring this over. And from the train station, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go over one more with the train. Yeah, I'll go over one more with the train station. But hey, you guys want to see some of my other setups? I can take you around. Just let me know. Otherwise, you're gonna watch me build my power plant setup here. At the last one. Good. Down. Okay, I will probably put a wall, like bring the wall out to here, and put a wall section here and up, and actually probably most of the way down. Because, yeah. I will probably change some of the colors, because while I made the default this crazy green, I'm gonna get rid of that tree. Have room. I also need to connect these up. Alright, that was enough. Now, I don't know if anyone else has had the problem with Satisfactory when you cut down some of these trees. Certain ones, they just seem to automatically grow back or reappear. There is one on the other side of the map towards my... It is over this way by my other train setups such. But yeah, if you guys want to see my train station or any of the other stuff that I have set up, I have a bauxite aluminum plant. I have my oil production facilities. You know, can't afford a concrete, and that's one of the reasons I set up the concrete. But you'll probably hear me say that a lot. I've already said that a few times. Me, the train station is more of an outside thing, so right. Put that in, so I have a way through. Oops. Burst from front. And so here, once you're above, you'll kind of get the idea what I'm going for. I don't know that I like having the uranium storage facility being green, the neon, you know, green, because then I can't screw up the thought of like, hey, yeah, it's bad. The rest of it, though, I think I want to go with another paint. Any suggestions on paint schemes? I'm all ears for. How many of the... I have enough. I'm painting. See here. Paint gun out. Now, this is what I used for the train station. Don't know that I want to go that route. Could go with like this mustard yellow. Or I could go with this construction orange-ish. I don't know, I think I kind of like this one. Unless you guys want to tell me which colors, but if not, I'll select that one and go. It's lighter than what the same basic as my train station. I don't know. I gotta select. Well, that's not... I don't... Well, that's a different color than what I... What? Interesting. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, we could go with red. The facility is kind of dangerous. That would definitely... I'm using a reddish color though on my iron, on the top of my iron production or processing. I don't know that I want to go with another red. I think this is going to look too much like the... That doesn't look too bad. Why not? Whatever. I want something other than green. I've seen enough green. All right. Now, oh, here, that one too. Conveyors are weird. So, there we go. Okay. You get the idea on color, painting, yada yada. I don't know how close I'm gonna be able to get. Watch. I'll get... Hey, thanks for the follow. Exotic. Did I reduce? Oh, there's the radiation. There. Ow, ow. Yeah, when I started today, the radiation wasn't affecting. I could actually, I built all that stuff over there, and now it's all in an irradiated zone. That's actually, I have a ramp and doorway down there by, oh, I need to reload. Down by that wall I just painted. So, yeah. I was planning on using that doorway as the way in and out, because when I first started pouring the uranium into the storage, I actually was able to go in and out of it over there. I thought that that would be actually safe, but no, not anymore. So that one and that one are the last two on this structure. Down. Drop some more. Kind of hate that I built into the float ground here, but I don't know. I may hide this internally eventually. Put some internal walls up, put like another set of walls like here to hide this stuff. But for now, this is just the way it's gonna be. So I kind of wish I would have did some, because with the radiation, it's gonna make it hard to. How close can I get? Here, I'm gonna drop a conveyor pole at where I am noticing my radiation. So that way I have a warning. So yeah, storing it over there. I did cut the increasing amount of uranium because for the time being, until I am good to go to actually start production of the fuel cells, which is what those were going to be, I was going to pipe over the uranium into their concrete over, and then I can actually start the concrete over. Actually, let's try to bring it on that one. There. Now, misjudged it. Need a hair close. I'm not nearly as good, I guess, as some people are with like lining things up and getting things perfect. Okay, there we go. Rather than do you guys want to watch me build? I mean, I'm fine just going about building and building and building and building. I mean, that's a big part of this game, is building stuff. So this will eventually be the power floor next to the train station. Let's see. I'm not so worried about, it'll just like, I'll probably leave the walls. I won't bring them up here for the fact that there isn't a huge need for them with the power plants, plus with them being cooling towers and such. You kind of would want, in real life, you want them outside. So here, I will go around, show you my different facilities that I have set up. Like I said, I think that'll be more interesting than watching me build constantly. So let's see here. Take you back to my mess of a base. So here is my radar tower. That is just, it's just essentially a tower. I ran power all the way up to the top, put the radar on top, and yeah. This is my iron production facility. There are roughly 6 iron nodes right here. There's 4 over there, 2 here, and then I ran 3 normals from over there. This is all the output. I think I'm going to get rid of the screw line though. But currently, each floor I have produced, you know, smelting it. It pipes it up. Everything that gets smelted, minus that's just another some more ore lines. But I have the smelted goods run up middle here. And then eventually I have a line that goes down with, here we'll go up above and I will show you. Because up above we have another smelting floor. This only had enough for a half smelting floor, so I used it for storage before sending it out. I use them more like buffers. So got iron rods, iron plates, reinforced plates, and then, you know, modular frames. This is screws. I don't know that screws is a, because of the multiplication factor, so like you get so many screws outputted compared to how much you use on the resources. I don't know that it's a great thing to be shipping screws out. And here you can see, yeah, everything's getting sent up, all the production goods. You notice I have a setup of the iron plates, rods, and screws that are also going up with all of the ingots, and that is because up above I need those for producing the modular frames and the reinforced plates. And like, this is an entire floor just making iron plates. So I was using those to space out and plan. And this basically ships all the goods down to the bottom, or down to that floor below with the storage. But yeah, basically each floor has a bunch of constructors or assemblers. So this floor is making all of the rods, also going down the middle, shipping it to the lines that go up and down. And this floor, screw floor, yep. And here, I'll take you over to this side. This is where all the goods are being shipped up and down. You can see, like below, I had to actually, to get the iron ingots up to this floor, I had to, this building's tall enough, I had to do a double stack of the, conveyor. Well, I'm bad with names. So bad. The lifts. The conveyor lifts. So, and there's the red I was talking about that I used for this building. But, yeah. So I have all the ingots being shipped up, and then eventually I ship up the plates, rods, and screws for the other pieces to be put together. And up here I have reinforced plates. I feed all of this into, well, because you need them, the reinforced plates with the rods to make the modular frames. So I have 2 of these assemblers making it just for that whole side. Now, I have debated putting in a merger splitter kind of balancer setup, so that way, like, merge all of these outputs, then split all of the outputs, or then split it into the 4, go over there, plus the 1 that goes to down below for storage. That way I would get the most possibly speed for making the modular frames. You don't need a lot of modular frames and top end stuff. So yeah, this is my iron facility. I tried to make it as nice. I do want to go back through and replace all these metal walls with the ones that you can paint and then turn the building all one color, or maybe make a pattern. I just tossed up walls when I was first putting it together, so that way it looked decent. And then there you can see in the distance my trial train station, because I wanted to know what it was like. This again is my mess of a production facility that I'm cleaning up slowly but surely. I've been disassembling because, like, obviously that there was a bunch of stuff feeding into this storage here. This is my train station, which you can see one of my trains heading out now. I have a couple trains that are just sitting around. Like, I think this one I don't have it set up to go anywhere yet. It was running on, it's running on my bauxite aluminum line. And this train is just my Catorium quick wire. I think I'm gonna leave that. I keep thinking about, oh, I might pull it back. I do really like having this set up, and I made it so that way I have 2 trains per floor coming in and out. So that way, And I flipped it so that way both of them have their input outputs on the ends in the middle. So that way I can easily just have one area run all the stuff. I would take you up above, but you'd see the same thing above. It's just another floor of trains. I can probably go even higher. I'm not sure that I'm going to. But yeah. Take you back to my steel plant. And also my compacted coal plant. I started a compacted coal plant because I found some of the alternate recipes. There's ways to get away from using just raw coal. I mean, well, you're still using coal, but once you compact the coal, you get a higher output from your steel. You can actually cut some of the processing down. Here, we'll show the compacted coal setup first. It's actually one of my more recent changes. I raised the floor a little bit because on the other end, this platform that like the ground sticking through. So this is a coal node underneath there. It feeds into these assemblers, which compacts it, turns it into the compacted coal. And they pretty much run hog wild. I merged all the lines to try to balance the load on all the assemblers. I merged all the lines and then I split it into the three. And this is the final split. And that's just so that way if I ever hit like mass quantity production, that I would be burning through all of the assemblers, not just one or two. But this is where, like, you got I have two compacted lines going to my steel facility, and then one compacted line that goes into a black powder setup right here. I don't know that I need this much black powder, but, you know, and if you look on the map, I'm up on this spot. There is a sulfur node that is right here, which is why I opted to put the compacted coal set up here, because then I don't have to transfer the salt. You know, sulfur and coal are both relatively close together, and you don't have to ship them that far. Now, I have the black powder bypass around the building, and then the compacted coal goes in. Originally, I had a bunch of smelters down in the bottom here. This floor has kind of become empty since I went to the compacted coal setup for the steel production. And if you notice, these are both Mark IIIs already. Because fortunately, to make compacted steel, well, make the steel from the compacted coal, you just need iron ore and compacted coal. You can completely cut out that entire setup of, you know, smelting the iron down into ingots. And this gets all shipped up, and I have this processed into both steel rods, well, steel pipes and steel plates, steel pipes, and then they both go out the other end to the output, which is down one floor. And then I created a bridge setup to ship it back. This is before even trains were something. I think I'm going to leave it because we're still fairly close to the facility, so conveyors aren't going to be too big of an issue. Because like the main facility is there, but if you look down below, you can see the steel pipes, steel plate, or, you know, beams, and then you also see below me the black powder coming in. Now, you'll also notice that there is my copper line that goes for my bauxite plant. I ship the copper out So that way I can make the aluminum out there and not have to worry about production and whatnot. Oops. Oh well. Grab my buggy and head out. I think I'm gonna grab my single train engine that I have parked. That's most of the facilities close. Yeah, I was like, I had shipped all the goods in. I was because well, a lot of times there is some multiplication on some things, like for the screws. Oh, I went too far. Screws require, take what, 2 ingots or 1 ingot, and you get like 6 to 12 screws. That's one of the reasons why I don't know that shipping screws in is going to be beneficial. But this is the old bauxite line. This is still full of copper. I was using it when I first started bringing in the aluminum sheets and stuff and the quartz. But this is probably the easiest way for me to get to where I am. I have this set up for the aluminum. I just decided to ship it in. And yes, I know this is kind of one of those floating bridge things, but to get from where I wanted to get, get from one point to another, sometimes you kind of have to do that. You can kind of see I have another floating bridge thing over there. I was trying to get to something. Oh, I wanted to explore that biome up above with the trees and such, because I was curious on what it was like up there. And so, yeah, and you'll also see I have various other bridges. I get kind of crazy. So here's my quartz station. There are 2 quartz nodes right here. I have Mark II miners set up on them right now. This is where silica and the crystals are all piped in and whatnot. And out this way, yeah, I did some deforestation to get out this far. I was trying to keep the train above the ground a little bit, so that way when I'm driving around out in this area exploring, because I really haven't done a whole lot of exploring in this area. There are probably some slugs still not far from the tracks that I just haven't picked up because I haven't gotten to it yet. I wanted to just mainly connect in the train station. When I was first making the path to get to the train station, I actually had to drop beacons every so far, so that way I had a clue on where. Oh crap, I'm going too fast. Going too fast! We're gonna hit the end of the line! Hey, oh, and we stopped. So out here, I have another buggy. I parked out here because I'm still exploring out here. So train station, I have it set up so copper comes in on this one. This is where because the way I use the double-ended trains, which I highly recommend everyone use, because then you don't have to worry about putting in reversing loops or anything like that. So this is where the aluminum sheets are picked up, and I drop off silica here. And then this car would be for the quartz. And since I don't need quartz out here, I have a blank station, so that way it ignores that car. And so below are 2 bauxite nodes. I ship it up to this floor, process it with the silica, so that way I get the aluminum ingots. And then with that, I take the ingots down a floor. And apparently my neighbors are going to be loud with their vehicles. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. But I was changing some things up, and so I think I might have broken part of my setup. Because, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to fix it here sometime. Because I think this is going to be in the way. But yeah, I was changing some of the setup because I changed some of the cars around at some point, and so here, another processing of the copper ingots I'm bringing in, coming down, and then you have the sheets going up. And down below, and I put pillars down so that way to kind of actually make it look like it's being supported. Technically, I would need more pillars down because I don't think 4 pillars would be enough to support this entire structure above. I have some crafting stuff out here, and this is just mainly a buffer. I tend to use the storages as buffers because, I don't know, you never know how fast or whatnot you're going to go through things. Like I said, I have another buggy out here for moving stuff. I built another, since there was some limestone. I do what I do every time I find a limestone whenever I'm building in a new area. Set up a concrete plant. Because you never know when you're going to need more concrete. I've been trying to explore out in this way. I've never... There's the swamp that is out there. It's quite dangerous. Now, I would love to switch to the copper out in the swamp, but every time I've tried to get there, I just get inundated by the spider creatures that are just everywhere. So I pause and don't. That was so I can get a slug that was in the middle of those plants. Yeah, this was my initial way of getting in and out of this area from my quartz plant area. Hop on the train and head back. Now, when I'm going back, I probably will hit the end of the line because going down that hill, you pick up a lot of speed. And I always misjudge how much. So we might be able to hop on one of the trains to get to the other... Well, I can get the buggy out there still. I'll need to make sure I have fuel with me before I go. There is another sulfur node right there. I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. Now, if I can swap out my copper from the, you know, to the closer copper node that's out here, that would free up one of my cars, and I could actually then ship the copper back, or the sulfur back. And I'm not sure, or I could, I don't know, or I could add in another train to take the copper or the sulfur somewhere else. I'm still not sure. I need to get, I want to try to start doing where all the sulfur, or all my coal is getting turned into compacted coal, which means I need a lot of sulfur. And I don't know that I have enough sulfur to do it. I also want to make some turbo fuel, which again, you need compacted coal for that. Okay, downhill. As you can see, I've already hit 132 kilometers per hour. It'll keep getting faster if I don't start slowing down. But now, you've noticed that I haven't shown you any of my power plant facilities, and that's partially due to the fact that I've kind of changed it twice. Where my train station is now used to be where I kept my power plant, and there were a lot of coal, and also, like, I started out coal power plants in the bottom, then I went to the gas power plants above. Well, I've gotten away from... I moved them around, so one, the coal wasn't being shipped as far, and two, the gas... Oh, well, yeah, the gas and oil stuff wasn't being shipped as far either. So... I do really like these buggies. This is probably one of the biggest things like one of the things they added that I've really enjoyed. I do like the trains too. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. And this is, here you can see my train set up how I did bridges, to bridge the tracks out. And here you can see, like, there's the coal node over there, and I set up the coal stations here. I technically could go higher with it if I needed more power, but so far I haven't needed much power or much more. Okay, looks like I can actually start removing that line. Essentially what I've been doing, because I'm starting to ship stuff, I've been trying to use up some things to stop having to ship things in. I'm not going to be shipping in any raw ore anymore. Like here, this just turns everything into... This is a couple copper nodes, and it just turns it into copper ingots. Now, I haven't progressed it into processing it further, because I'm not 100% sure I want to do it into the wire and cable there. Because wire is another one of the multiplication style things. You know, you make a lot more wire than you do for how many resources you put in. Like, I think it's one ingot to 3 wire or something to that effect. Okay. That's one of the trees that I complain about, that I've cut that tree down 3 times. I guess the benefit is that it's like infinite wood and such, but I cut it down so it would go away, not so it would stay. So here you can see I run the train for... This one is the oil line, and it's running around all this stuff to get out to the oil nodes that are way out there. I do have a truck parked here. It used to be the truck that would haul stuff from one end of this water bridge, the other end. Here's the Catorium node. It feeds into this massive quick wire plant that is down below. This, like I said, it's a pretty big quick wire plant. And then I have that feeding into the storage for the train. Can't remember why I put that. I don't know. And out here, you know, basically this is just bridges all the way. You can see in the distance my fuel power plants. I want to get a compacted coal line. Well, I'll probably end up doing a train line that will come out here, another train that will drop off compacted coal. So then I can turn all of the fuel into turbo fuel. And then from the turbo fuel I can you know, run this fuel power plant, and hopefully, if I have enough compacted coal, that I can send turbo fuel back instead of gasoline. Because, or well, just the fuel, because turbo fuel burns a lot longer than the standard fuel. So here's my original truck station, and I'm going to have to mute myself for a little bit. My wife's calling, so sorry about that. Sorry about that. So this is my, like, there's a single oil node down below, and then I have it piped up to the floor, oh, processed into fuel, and then piped up to each floor. There are 6 fuel power plant on each floor, and I have 3 floors. So there are 18. Is there 6 or is there 4 floors? When you build a facility and you forget how, yep, there are 4 floors. So so there are 24 fuel power plants, and this is like probably where most of my power is being produced. I actually have a capacity of 5,400 megawatts right now, mainly from here. I do have 2 of the oh, here, let me, I have geothermal generators. I call them geyser generators. They just stick them on a geyser. Um, there is, if you can see, this is basically all my oil production area. I have one thing doing what each, there are 4 nodes out here. One I put for just power plant. Then one is turning fuel to go to the train station. One's doing plastic. One's doing rubber. I have 2 of the cars. No, each one. Yeah. So I send back, you know, the fuel, rubber, plastic. I might be sending back 2 cars of plastic. I tend to go through more plastic than I do of any other stuff. So I leave a buggy out here because sometimes I ride the train, get out here, but I didn't want to wait for the train, so that's why I grabbed this, you know, this buggy and just came out here. That's most of what my facilities are. I could show you the... I have plans for a whole nother area, and I have plans for expanding. Like, I know where there's some coal node. There's 4 coal nodes, I believe, and sulfur not far. Blowing on, are those? Oh, those are the fire bugs. Like there's one in the water even. I'm curious. Are they too far away to shoot? Now, I didn't know... Do I not have my gun equipped? I do have my gun. I have to... I didn't know you could shoot these bugs until more recently. And I was someplace, I was in a place where there was a bunch of the bugs. And so, yeah. Looks like there's also a slug over there. There is a drop pod. I actually went to the drop pod. Probably too far away to get an accurate shot on them. But, yeah, I didn't know you could shoot the bugs. And so I'm like, well, let's give it a shot. And I tried. So I was able to pick off the bugs. It beats trying to swing at them. What you can do, if you don't like getting up close to them, you can shoot their little plant pod thing. It will pop the bugs out, and then you can shoot the bugs, and you don't even have to get that close. One of the benefits. There you can see the train going. Obviously, it's got the other station full because it's got the cars, the boxes on the cars. So, like, here's, like, all this quick wire production. I might mirror it. I have another setup for Vitorium. I was still unsure if I'm going to keep the quick wire. And yeah, this train comes in from... I can remove this now. When I first set up, that was the way I got all the Vitorium back to my main facility, was through... I had to figure out to get a conveyor pole in the middle and run it down and across because it was too far across. So here's the benefit of having trains with both directions. Once he gets all the way one end, he can take off going the opposite direction. And I did get it all the way upgraded to a Mark III. Wasn't sure I did that. I probably, now that I have a train station out here, I can pick this one up. Don't really need that one there. That was, and plus I already kind of know how to get here and whatnot. I don't really need this. Like, here's a sulfur node. I left a beacon there. There's some quartz. That's at my quartz station. I could probably pick up my quartz beacon. There's another bauxite node I found. Some SAM ore. There's the SAM ore out on this island here. I'm gonna guess SAM ore will be something that they put in the next tier that we use, because right now, yeah. And while I've explored a fair amount, I still haven't explored nearly that much of the map. There is a ton more to explore on this map. This map is huge. I really do have to commend them for making the map, because there's just so much to explore, and it in some places is super dangerous. Yeah. How much inventory? I got a fair amount of inventory. I should be able to pick up most of this. At least going down here. Now I'm curious if the buggy will fit through. The buggy should fit through. I don't know about through this section. I don't know. There we go. I'm happier with that. Hop in my buggy. And why not? Let's try to see if we can get it stuck. Why not? Oh, come on, camera. Ah. This camera angle's messing me up. I go this way. I'm sorry about that. That was some whacked up camera. That is pretty much my entire facility. This was my test train station, like I said earlier. I still have a bunch of stuff in this in the storages here. I need to clean it out eventually. Yeah. And it's actually where I've been using this as my backup oil or fuel when I need to get some more fuel for my vehicle. Just grab some and toss it in. Yeah, this is my facility out there. It's going to be that other station you can see is where the other Catorium node is, and I haven't fully set it up. I was going to set up quick wire plant like the other one I showed, but I don't know that I'm going to do that because of the multiplication factor of quick wire. But then if I did it all there versus, you know, processing the Catorium ingots and turning it into quick wire at my main production facility, I wouldn't take as much room turning it into, you know, changing it from one to the other. Oh, and I can also maximize my production on it. Though then you get to the wonky, how much space is it going to take up for, like, well, are you going to be able to have a train keep up with the demand? And probably maybe not at first, but eventually. Like, eventually I'm gonna tear down a lot of the stuff that's in there. I'm slowly working through all of the ore and whatnot that's been stored and put into buffers. Like here, I actually was bringing in barrels of oil, and where I'm parking now used to be a lot of my oil processing. That's why... Oh, that's empty. That's why there's rubber in this one. But this one had plastic, and I used all of it. I brought down, since I'm going to destroy that train station eventually, I was bringing down the goods from it, so that way I could, right as I need it, I have all the sheet quartz right here. But, yeah. Anyway, I only normally plan to stream to 5 o'clock. It's 5:20, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate the views. Thanks for, yeah, I was like, I don't know that Casinator's back or not, but thank you for the raid. I appreciate the raid. And have an awesome day, everybody, and be awesome.